we realize that you've kind of divested into quite a number of areas in terms of business. Tell us about the factors that necessitated this, and tell us those areas of the subsidiaries that you've divested.
There are two ways in business you can grow. You either grow organically, or you grow when you divest, or you acquire, you go acquiring other companies by acquisition. To a large extent, we felt for you to grow into the future, you need to actually diversify beyond growing organically, and that is in your focused area of business. Yeah, our focus area, like you know, is about offering solution in terms of sleeping comfort. When you talk about that, you're looking at the mattress, the bed base, the pillows, the duvets, the bedspread. All of them come into a package, and that's why we equally develop some other products like the lifestyle range of products, all sofa chair, sofa bed, a bed at night and a chair during the day. And then, of course, when you visit our comfort centers and dealer outlets, you see variety of our products. That is in terms of organic growth. And we've done a lot of R&D to be able to come up with those products that we believe actually are based on the consumer needs and demand. But talking about expansion now, one thing we try to do is to expand along the lines of our business. Take for instance, we went into a merger, or shall I say, we invested in Vono for that primary reason, because Vono actually produces hard furnishing, which is the bunk for students' hostel, for what's it call it? Not just students, even adult hostels like the military or the police college and stuff like that. Exactly. You have the bunk beds for that, and then you have the wooden beds for use at home, even at hotels. Yeah, these are panel beds you actually see Vono make, and Vono now produces that and will sell through our channel, because we're saying, why offer just the mattresses, the pillows? Why don't you offer the bed base with it, so that the consumer is not going to buy mattress and start looking for where to buy the bed base? And we all know that there are a lot of integrity issues with the kind of bases you buy in the market today. You buy, before you know it, there are some rodents or ants that start eating them up, and you start having powdery substance. But what we have is such that you don't actually have those experiences. You don't actually have those experiences from the kind of beds we sell, because they are beds, when you actually use them, you don't worry about the issue of quality. It carries your weight comfortably. So we try as much as possible to improve on the quality of the bed base. And coming from the stable of Vono, we are sure that it is of good quality. And of course, what you are going to buy is something that will be durable because of the cost. So, and that's why we try to get them packaged. In fact, for us, we actually offer them as packaged beds, unlike the traditional one you go to the market to buy, and then you have people coming into the privacy of your room to come and set up beds. No, we say it's something you can do yourself. So they're in a carton, in a packaged bed. I'll show to you when you go downstairs. Yeah, they're already packaged. So you just carry the pack, you get home, and then you open it up, and then you arrange your bed, you put the mattress on it, the pillows, and of course you have the duvet and bedspread, and you're sure that you have your bed made up. If you look at our commercial on the packaged bed, it actually says that you can actually do it yourself, and within a short period of time you have your room set up.
All right, these bed bases that you've come up with, are they locally made? Are they locally sourced in terms of raw materials and produced within?
Well, if you talk about raw materials, some are local, some are, foreign. You get some locally, you have to bring in some, or some people bring in that we use. Exactly. So it's not all locally based. But in terms of manufacture, they're actually manufactured here in Nigeria.
Let's look at exportation of your products. Tell us about the experience in using that.
Yeah, Vitafoam actually ventured into the exports business through our exploit of the opportunities in Ghana. As we speak, we actually have a depot in Ghana that sells to the Ghana market, but the production is done from here. So it's more of sales function that we have in Ghana, sales and distribution function we have in Ghana. We actually are gradually covering Ghana because what we offer the Ghana market is actually premium. That's the truth. It's premium, is of the highest standard. Before we got into Ghana, we actually looked at what the standards were. The Ghanaian likes very good products, but they want it cheap. Yeah, it's not particularly coming cheap, but it's reasonably priced, such that those who know value, because value goes beyond just the price of the product. If you have a product, say for instance, of 10,000 naira that you're going to be using for 5 years, versus a product you get for 5,000 naira and you use for only 1 year, you are better off buying the one for 10,000 naira that you use for 5 years. Exactly. That's exactly what we are after. We want to give value for the money you're actually paying. So we have, the Ghana team there. We have one of our team members from Nigeria, and of course the others are Ghanaian. That means that we're actually involved in the local, management of the place. We have local managers actually managing the business in Ghana. And of course that makes it easy for us to be able to understand the market dynamics in Ghana because they are local, they understand their environment better. Yeah, and the business is gradually growing up in Ghana. Besides Ghana, we actually are investing in Sierra Leone. In fact, what we are looking at doing in Sierra Leone is actually having a factory built in Sierra Leone. As we speak, we're actually in collaboration with IFC, International Finance Corporation. They actually had offered us some loan, such that the project can actually take off in Sierra Leone, hopefully this year.
All right, and rounding off, and as part of your divestment, we understand that Vitafoam has delved into oil and gas.
Yeah.
I think that's Vitafoam or something.
Vitafoam.
Vitafoam.
Yes.
Tell us about this subsidiary and who are the contributors and partners.
Okay. First and foremost, Vitafoam business, the focus is on rigid polyurethane. Here we're talking about insulation mainly. Foam we have two types of foam generally. We have flexible foam, which is what Vitafoam is expert in, but rigid polyurethane, they are all polyurethane. Rigid foam, that's what Vitafoam is actually specializing or specialized in. So they actually insulate, like in Europe, you insulate your house such that in can be warm and it's generally cold outside, so that you keep warm inside. So you insulate your house from the roof to the walls. But what Vitafoam does is that it actually insulates to keep cool in, so that heat can be kept outside, particularly in our tropic. We're in the tropics, that is in Nigeria. It's to keep heat out and cooling. That's one of its products. Yeah. And then there are other variety of products. For instance, heat exchange between one point and the other. Like we have the pipe lagging, that's part of their products. To lag your pipe, for instance, in the breweries, there are a lot of companies that you want to keep, the temperature same within a long space of a chain or a pipe. So you need to lag that pipe. So that then comes to the oil and gas you're talking about. So a lot of those products actually are suitable for the, oil and gas, sector. And of course, because of the weather in Nigeria, we do a lot of roof insulation. If you go into our factory roof is insulated. It's just that the weather is cool now, but when it's really very hot, when you're coming outside and you're going into our factory, it's like you're going into an AC environment, and as you leave that place, you're going outside into the sun. Is actually very, very hot outside. So we've actually insulated our factory roof such that the working environment for our staff can be, very conducive. And in fact, we recommend it for a lot of factories in Nigeria, in Lagos, particularly in the north too, that you have, the heat really very, very hard. Even in Lagos, because the one we have here is actually in Lagos, in our factory here in Lagos. So we would encourage a lot of factories to actually insulate their roof against heat, because that's what Vitafoam produces. We equally have in Vitafoam what we call the fish cage. The fish cage technology is very simple. It's just to create some buoyancy in on the water, such that you have the net floating. and then you have, you know, your fish in nurseries. We're talking about fingerlings, and then they start growing to become adult fish, exactly, like the catfish in particular. And we've actually tested that out, and it's very profitable, because there you don't need, you know, like most of the people who do fish pond business in Nigeria, they actually have earthen ponds or concrete ponds, you know, artificial ponds, where they construct and then they put water in it. The fish wants to actually operate in a very what's it called, in a very natural environment. Yeah, so when you have the fish cage in the river, the water is flowing, is healthier, unlike the other one, and then the energy cost for keeping that water, changing it all the time, you don't have to spend that cost if you have your fish cage from Vitafoam. Yeah, and the initial cost is really not extremely expensive. It's less than 1 million naira to set up a cage, and that cage you can keep using it, you know, from cycle of fish to another. It's really very profitable for those who are already in it. So if somebody is in the, you know, fish business, I would recommend strongly that he actually comes to pick up the Vitafoam, the Vitafoam fish cage. And again, for those of us building houses now, even for acoustic reasons, yeah, like if you use the long span roofing sheet, when it rains, particularly around this period, it can be very noisy. But when you insulate the roof, you are not just insulating against heat, you are equally insulating against noise, so that the noise level will be tempered down. And then of course you insulate against leakage in the roof. So once you seal it, it's sealed. You insulate it against leakage. Yeah.